All right, everybody, we are back with the Mammoth tank build. Now, looking back over this thing, I have realized last night we're going to need to build this thing really big. It's going to have to become a chunky boy. We're going to need a big boy tank. Not a tank. We need a tonk. That's what we're going to need. So I've come up with some ideas. One, how to design the turret, the armament we're going to use. I think I'm going to have to go a little bit on the big side. We're probably going really big with this. I might need a bigger platform. Just saying, we might need a bigger platform. But number one, we're going to have to rework this. I'm just going to pop this out here. And we're going to get rid of this thing because I already know how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and add myself a block over here, just regular block. Because, like I said, we're going to take this up really high. And we are going to start the main chassis. I think so. We'll have to be way up here. Let me go ahead while I'm at it. No, I want to reset. I said reset the sun. I want to remove weather. There we go. Nice. Okay, so this is going to be big. I don't know how big this thing's going to get, but the size that I'm going to be pulling this, the wheels are going to be a combination of wheelbases so that we can put this thing up there, and it's going to have to be practically a monster in order for it to do everything that I'm going to need it to do. So, first off, we need to get the base of this thing built. And we're just going to start because I was going to do a thing where I was going to just do the hatch in the back. But I got to looking at this. I got to looking at the tank again, and a realization has popped in that the Mammoth was really only accessible from the turret and the front of the tank, which means I'm gonna have to build a lot of things to make this work. The turret's gonna have to be oversized. The internals are gonna have to the chassis is gonna have to be oversized. And looking at this, I realized I will probably have to install a ladder at some point. So we're going to need to somehow do that and then hatch it on top so that I can get out of this thing and climb out. Now, why do we want a ladder on the tank? Because we're going to want to get, oh, well, that's good. Not everything went to pot. Unable to place that light armor block because that is in the way now. Wonderful. All right, we'll just work around it. We'll work around it. So here's my thing. I'm kind of stuck here. I don't know what to build first. I don't know whether to build the the turret first or the chassis. Honestly, what am I going to need for let's see. The ladder itself, that's what we need to know. How much room does it take up? Okay. All right, here's the issue. For the ladder to work, I'm going to need this much space. And I want to see. Hmm. How much space am I missing right there? That's what I need to know. How much space are we missing? Is it 2? Okay, so we got 2 points there of space. That is going to be one large. Well, no, I just need a hole. I just need to be able to put the hole where I can get in and out of it. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to install like an upward area here for the main hatch, and then have a. We're almost going to have to build a 2-story building out of small blocks, is what I'm going to have to do. And then I've got to somehow make that 2-story building fit in such a way that it will technically work. This is not something you're going to be able to take to like a weird planet without oxygen. You're going to need oxygen uh, to run this thing while you're in it. Well, like I said, that's just one of the things about this tank. You're not going to be able to just hop in. You're going to be able to walk around and move around inside the chassis. So, let's see if I remember this correctly. For us to walk around in here, we are going to need, what did I say, like 5 blocks tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5. So the inner chassis is going to have at least that much space, I suppose. Actually, we probably can get away with less. Let's see. Can I get away with less? Can I get away with less room? Let me see here. Can we get away with less room? Yeah, we could. So the chassis doesn't have to be that big. The chassis is just going to have to be, what, 1, 2, 5, 6 blocks tall total? It's got to be like 6 blocks tall total. That's it. We need like 4 blocks tall. So that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. And then with the turret, with the turret system here, we'll just have this kind of like rotating with the turret, or we'll just put the ladder up top, kind of halfway sticking down or something. That could actually work a lot better because nobody's going to be up in the turret for very long. The way I want to build this is I want the ability to get into the turret, but not totally be in the turret. So our main chassis is going to have to be at least this big. And I'm going to need to have enough room to spin things. I want this to be like a monster that has to be crewed. So you're going to need um, a crew of 4 at the very least. You're going to need 2 guys operating either one of the 2 machine gun turrets that we're going to add to this. And you're going to need another guy to be gunner, and then a driver. So what we're going to need is around 4 seats, I suppose. And another thing about the Mammoth, after doing my research on it, the Mammoth is its power plant's in the back. of the tank. So the power plant's in the rear end of it, which gives us a good degree of operational capacity, meaning I can just turn the back end of this tank into a power generator station. Now, what we generate that with, I don't know. I think the original one was nuclear powered, I want to say. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But first, let's see if we can get some kind of tank looking thing built here. Let's see if we can get a tank built here, folks. How do I want to do this? Now, hold on. I can do this nonsense with the armor plating, but then I'm realizing something here. I need... Let's go ahead and take this out. First off, I need to repair this floor, obviously. I need to center this a little bit better because, dear Lord, that's going to be a nightmare. Let's center that and R. That around. There we go. Oh, there we are. All right, that is almost perfect. I can't believe that thing landed that well. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build this chassis about as high as we possibly can. I know this is going to be tall, but those tracks on this thing are going to be up there. All right. Let's start from here. And instead of firing off, I have an idea here. We're going to take a conveyor converter because I think this is the best way to do this. Or is it? We can do this or this. Unfortunately, this is not going to let me go very far. So, am I even talking? Let's check and make sure. Yeah, all right, we're doing good. So, what we're going to do here, I could put a large conveyor here, but I don't know how that will affect the rest of the tank. So, what I'm looking at here is I could do this and put a large rotor there. I kind of need that turret to sit on top of something. And then the turret is going to become the roof of the chassis to an extent. I need a hole. That's another thing. I need to make a hole. Let's make a hole here real quick. How big a hole do I need? Get down. We'll do a 3x3 here. And then I'll just start shrinking it as we go. That'll also... See, the problem here with building something like this is you need to know what its function's going to be. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put in a half block here just to make this a little more tight. Okay, here's a hole. We can go right through that easily. All right, that's good. So we know a 3x3 is going to do the job. Yeah, like I said, we're still trying to get to the freaking tank build. So I think what I'm going to do here instead, we're going to slap this on here. Because then I can I can set up some type of conveyor or something. I can start setting up a conveyor system, and then I can build up this conveyor system if I have to. Just make it bigger. So we can just do this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and I believe I said we're gonna need like 4, aren't we? Tall to make that work, and that'll be kind of how the entire chassis starts right here. Now we're going to need, at the very least, 3 wide, and I'm going to want to build some type of pillar here. So we're going to need a chassis about that wide. So that's like what? 7 wide? How wide are some of these tanks? Let's see, the smallest tank we got. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 out from the center. That's almost the size of Grexion's light tank here. That's how wide the chassis is going to be. Just the chassis. That is this chassis. Our treads are going to be an independent system on this that we're going to have to build. And they are minimum. If I am looking at this correctly here, and I probably am. No, let's plot here. Let me put this on top here. That is minimum going to be 1, 2, and 3. That's minimum going to be a 3 wide tire system. That's like minimum's going to be 3. I think this is going to be like a 6. Each individual track system is going to be 6 wide. That's just with the drive system in place, or it may be smaller than that. Maybe it might be 4, maybe just 6 total if I use the 2x2 wheels, which we'll probably use 2x2 wheels for the main track system. That's where that's going to go in. So it's going to be, good God, that's going to be a big tank. So I need at least room here to make that work. And then we need, because this has got to be like a long-term tank. This has got to be something that we can drop out in the middle of nowhere and it can just fight. Oh, good God, it can just fight forever. And we'll need a battery system to make it all work in the back section of the tank. So we're going to need at least 2. Let's see. We're going to need enough room to get to here. So first off, let's just do this, because I know I'm going to build a central pillar right here. That's just going to happen. I'm going to round that central pillar. I'm just going to slap some bricks right here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So here we are. And if I'm correct, the chassis is just going to sit right on top of here. So then right about here is where our connector thingamabob should go at some point, so that we can turn this tank and actually move it around and it'll actually work properly. Another thing we could do is we could add a connector on the bottom. I didn't think of that. We could slap a connector on the bottom, one of the big ones, have it kind of come up a bit, and I could make the pipes work with the system. That add a little more detail, honestly. Wouldn't be as impressive, though. We won't worry about that. I told you people. No weather.
Good Lord. Game just doesn't listen sometimes.
Okay, so we'll have this central pillar here, which will hold the tank up and everything, make all that work. Why are we doing the central pillar? Because. Just because. Now, I'm just going to go ahead here. I think I'll just do this. We're going to build as a platform here, and whatever I need to cut out, I'll just cut out. Because I want to make sure that I can walk through here. I want to make sure I can get through. Now, this is not how big the chassis is actually going to be. We just got to see what our tolerances are. And now let's try going between here, like so. Can I get through? Yes. So a too wide area we can easily get through. So this gives me a whole lot of options here. I will probably cut these down to half blocks and make them kind of a rounded pillar thing. But we have the ability to walk right through here. And this is where the roof of the turret is going to rest. From there, let me see here. If I can pass through a 2x2 block, then there should be no reason I can't drop down from 2x2. Yeah, there's no reason I can't drop down from a 2x2 to the one deal. The other issue, though, is this ladder. Because if I can get it over here. See, it goes straight up like this. So I'm almost going to need this ladder to come down just slightly from where that connects. And we'll need our other seat right up here somewhere that's kind of hanging down. And then we'll need two more seats looking each direction as well as a pilot seat in the front. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So this here is almost because let's see here, okay? This is the maximum height of what we need. Which means for this to work in the tank chassis or the turret up top, I'm going to need, let me just pop this back in here. I'm going to need this to be short enough that I've got just enough room to move around in without this in the way. And this is just going to have to come down just slightly. And my one deal here this system here doesn't have to be very big. You can see right here, this seat is not very large. So it would have to, let's just see if I can get this to work. It is just got to go to about right here. It doesn't even have to get all the way to the ground. It just has to go right about there, just strapped right up to the very top turret of the system. So that's actually going to work out really well. That's going to work real well. So I've got the width here. Now I need to see as we build the central pillar system here to make this all work. Because also I want to put the front hatch on. I want the front hatch so that I may offset the front hatch a bit so that I'm going to put a ladder in the front so we can hop on the front of the tank. The driver can climb up, hop on. The driver can then activate the hatch, open it up. They can hop into the tank to the seat where they're at. And I don't want to put the hatch somewhere where it will be too easy to blow up. Let's go here. And I think the best way to do this would be number 8. We'll just do some stuff here. So the centralized pillar we have is going to be built in such a way that I won't have to worry too much about how to get from point A to point B. We're not going to build it all the way up because I got to make sure. Because, like I said, we're going to have one part of this thing just kind of sitting. That's going to be the hard part, is getting this thing to sit and stay there, if you know what I mean. This is going to be fun. Now for this side, we're going to need number 3 here. No, yeah, right there. This part so that it looks like a reinforced megalith here. No. There we go. Just like so. Now for this one. And we'll just have this look like a big reinforced section of the tank. Now the thing about the Mammoth tank is it is a Colossus. I got to look at it. It's almost 4 times the size of an M1 Abrams. So that gives you an idea of what kind of monster we are making right now. Just to let you know, this is going to be kind of wild at the size we're dealing with. Look through here. Where's our beds? Let's go ahead and grab some beds. Where are the 1 beds? Okay. There's something stupid here. Why is it that the this bed's here? Where's that bed at? There we go. All right, let's do this. Now, with the crew, we're going to need at least a bed or 2 because somewhere on this darn thing. Let me see here. How does that work? Oh, that is interesting. So wherever we're going to put this bed at, there's 1. And we should be able to stack these things at some point. Now, the problem with the bed is if I were to put this in the tank, does it give our guys a place to sleep? I need to know. Let's go ahead and see what kind of other stuff we can throw down. Okay. Okay. Here's a control seat we can install by enough room to get through here. Let's add a few more armor blocks just so I can see how much room I'm going to need on the side here just to get past this thing. And also cover everything I'm wanting to cover at the moment. Okay. Like I said, nice cramped little area right here to get through. So we've got 1 system here to get by, and then I can go ahead and add something right in here to kind of make it just a rounded area. Yeah, I could probably go far enough to, let's see what other seats we got here. We also have the rover cockpit, which is actually pretty cool. But that doesn't have the joystick control, and I need the. They're gonna need to stay down. Now, if I only need two points, I could hang a something from the roof, but I'm not gonna have all the things that I get with the chassis, and that is, yeah, I can hang this from the roof, like, and then have like an actual control seat or something. Actually, let's consider another option here. We're probably going to put a few more subgrids on this, guys. As I'm thinking here, God, this thing's going to be huge. I mean, this chassis is really going to be big for a tank, but it is the Mammoth. I wouldn't do this with any. I wouldn't do this with any other type of build except the Mammoth. So here's a concept. What if we? Well, would it work? It works with the subgrids over there. What I'm thinking is, what if I put these passenger seats right here instead of having a seat that's down there? We just use one of these seats, and then, well, that creates a problem in the front because we're going to have a place for the driver to sit. So that creates an issue. Darn. Hmm. And I would like a system in which we wouldn't have to worry about that. Now, if I push this forward here, I run into a pretty similar problem with this here. Let me pull this up there and slip like so. Okay, we've got the ability to get through right here, and I can lift this up maybe one by attaching it to the ceiling on the other side. And then what we'll need, what we're gonna need, here, God, this thing's gonna be huge. Let me do number 9 here. Can I get past that? No, I can't get past it there. So what if we take it just a bit further? Like so. Okay. And then what's in the front? I've got enough room to put some stuff in. Yeah. So then we just had to build like sections around it and then attach the turrets on either side, the tracks on either side of this thing, and just double up the armor on the side so these guys don't get like bodied in one shot. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. And then that would work with the turret system up top because I could still slap in the one deal, work a whole lot of things into play that would still work to an extent. Okay, so we have this here. Let me try something real quick. We're going to add a battery so I can get some power here. Well, just not a big one, just a small one. Because I want to try something. I want to try something. I want to see. Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there, everybody. Okay. Now let's grab this rotor here. And we'll give that a 1. Let's see what this does here. So we could actually spin this around, I think. And if that be the case, I could just pull this in a little bit more. Let's grab a console block or two here. Oh, why are you not? There we go. Oh yeah, check that out. That is gonna be interesting right there. Oh, it stopped. Why did it stop? Have we hit something? We've not run out of juice. Ah, that's what the problem was. Okay, so let's go ahead here. We'll go number 2. All right, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Nice little TV screen right there. Let's also see what else we could do. That ain't gonna work there. Let's go ahead and just strap like a screen here. Like just a regular one. And then I'm gonna install. Yeah, we're gonna run into a problem real quick right there, I bet. Yep, here it comes. That back end's gonna hit. You watch, that back end's gonna hit it, and I'm not gonna be able to do this spin trick with it. Yep. Hmm. So I am almost. And that's the issue here, because as soon as I put that in place, we're gonna have issues. I guess we won't be turning that into a spinning chair then. I know this looks kind of boring right here, but this is part of the prototyping process to make this thing work. So, let's see here. I liked this idea, but it's not going to work. It is not going to work. So we're going to put that there. And number 9, let me install this bad boy. Right there like so. I need just the bare minimum room. All right, bare minimum room here. That is about 2 blocks wide. And enough room for everything else that is going to have to come in here. Now, number 1, start breaking up the console blocks. Okay, do that. Now, number 2, another thing I can do with number 2 is I can do this, like so. We got that nice nifty little look going on there. See, pretty cool. I could also rip one of these out and put in a programmable block, which by doing so would look a bit like that. So then I could add a screen up top and a screen here. And with that, we could then start really building this thing up. So we do one of these numbers. Oh, what are you talking about? I can't add that there. Why? Why? That doesn't seem right. Why would you do that to me, game? Why would you do that to me? Okay, so we're gonna have to put in this block here, like so. Just make things functional. And then we'll go back over here to this. See, now we can install something. That doesn't look right. That looks horrible. Yeah, see, here's the issue that now I'm running into. Yes, I can do this, but then that really hampers everything else. So we're going to need to figure something out here. None of these console blocks are 3 by 3, by the way. Hmm. How would that even work? He says as he checks the system out. Okay, so I would have to have that thing come. I would need that one block all the way over to here. Huh. Which means we'll almost have to build the system around that. I think once this is built, this will give me an idea of where the other two track systems are going to go. Because we need this to be at least this cramped to look decent. And with at least that cramped, then I can start figuring out where the tracks are going to go. I can figure out where a lot of things. Like I said, once I get the chassis figured out, that's the big issue here is figuring out the chassis. Once the chassis is figured out, we'll be able to really go somewhere with this. Let me check here. Are all of these things? Or is this one a 2x2? Oh, this is a 2x2. That'd be awesome. Is it a 2x2? No. But it does have something a little better. It's got that little screen, and I want that little screen. Okay. So we got that little viewport screen up top, and we got a screen here. Let's take that screen out. And what I want to do, let's add a block here. And we shall add a block there. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a triple screen here. One. Two. Let's get over here. And 3. Now what do we need? We need corner block here. Oh boy, that looks horrible. Man, that looks ugly. Add a couple armor blocks on either side of this thing. Okay, we'll do that there. And then all I need next is just a very cool looking console block there. And an interesting looking console block here. That will help make things look interesting. And then we can do this also, which will make that look a little more compact. You catch my meaning. See, there we go. Check that out. That looks cool. That's looking really cool. Now I could put a piece here. Let's see if I can just maybe make this look a little better. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. That's looking better already. Let's slap in one more block here. We may replace that with something else once I figured this out. But then Badger goes ahead and adds one more final piece to the opposing side of the lock. And oh my god, is that tiny little cockpit space now look amazing. Check that out. We've got buttons galore. We can run a set of lights through here. That looks even better. I don't know which one I like more. I don't know if I like this section here with the extra screen, like the round of screens here, or if I like this part here. But we got plenty of buttons, that's for sure. And then just hop back out. So we're getting an idea here. That's going to be good. Sith for the win. 4072. Hello there. Hey, man. How you doing? So all we're doing right now is I'm just trying to figure this thing out so that we know how this is going to go down. I'll probably have something come down here. I don't know how that'll work. Probably have some type of heavy beam block. Let's look here and see if I can pull out one of these girders or beam blocks, I suppose what we could call it. I don't know. This might be too much. I'd still be able to get through here. That may not be too much. I think it'll be too much, but it may not be. It may not be. We might even add something up the side here and then kind of pull across. I don't even know if I'm going to put beds in this thing. It's going to be big enough as it is. I mean, that's going to be huge. And then this whole section here is going to be armored. And then that's where the set of stuff. For those that are wondering, we're building the Mammoth tank from Command and Conquer. So we all know how dangerous that's going to be. So the problem I'm running into here is I don't know what I like better. I've got this, but I think this is just a little too much. And then I got this here, which kind of seems better. I don't know which I prefer, though. Oh, wait. Let me try something here. See if I can't make this work. Because I just realized that there, I don't know if that works or not. It might not. Do I have a screen here that's like 3 by 3 or something? That's like 2 by 3. That would be awesome. No? Okay. All right, so that's like for one of the side gunners who's going to be operating the main turret. I may add a screen in the front here just to kind of tilt forward. But I am liking this. I just don't know how to make it mesh in with this over here. It's like this feels more enclosed. This does not. This feels a little more open. And I need to figure out a way to get this console system to work around like that. I do like this up here though. I do like this kind of setup. I don't think that's going to work right here. It's just too many knobs and buttons and it's just too much redundancy. It's looking too plain on either side. So I can also add like systems here, systems there. We can add a couple of programmable blocks that'll just make it look amazing. So, like I said, the question is, what do I do? Since I do like that, okay, we're gonna probably go this route right here. Let me just remove some stuff here. Okay, so we're probably going this route. As far as screens are concerned, there we go. We'll add that. And then just a little something there. And for this bottom section, we can add that. And then it's just figuring out how to tie that in with some main console blocks. I don't know how to do that though. Wait, what? Oh yeah. All right. So how are we going to tie this in? That's the real question. How do I tie this in right here? I need a block. I need some type of small detail block. There's nothing there for that. Nothing for that. And like I said, I need a detail block. I need something small, detailed, that'll fit right there and work beautifully. And I can't seem to find it. Don't we have a new light block? I think I was going to put that in the area with the tank. See, we got heat vents, got exhaust pipe, which I forgot we had that. An exhaust cap. Hmm. Okay. I didn't know we had that. Ah, there's those new lights. Well, bummer. I can't use that. That's a bummer. Hmm. Well, wait a minute. Hold up now. Let's try this. It's like a half block, isn't it? What if I just, for giggles here, surely I've got like a half block. Yeah, that's not going to work. Hmm. Let me look again here. Surely I've got something. Come on, Shirley. Surely we got something here that'll work. Got neon tubes. I've got one of these with some cylinders. Da, 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 da. No. Wait, hold up now. See the microwave here. Okay, yeah, I can't put that in the way. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh no, why'd I do that? Okay. Yeah, like I said, it'd be cool. Oh wait, I mean, lots of turret controllers anyway. I got one. Hell yeah. That looks good. Let's do that. So here's the thing. I'm also going to need like some turret controllers anyway. The problem here is that turret controller thing right there is just not going to do. We'll put a rounded block there instead. Like a small pillar block. Let's try that. Let's see. Where is that block? Let's go ahead and just grab that, remove it. How would that work? That's not going to look good at all. Let's go for the small cylindrical blocks. See how that looks. Yeah, that kind of helps. All right, we'll go with that. Let's see. What else do I need to do here? Number 4. Do the same thing again. Right there. Oh, wait. Every time I think I've got this figured out, I start coming up with other options. Let me see here. I've got other things that, hmm. Not that. Not that. Got these heat vents. I don't really want to use that if I can help it. I don't think that'll work like I'm wanting it to. Okay. Like I said, I really want to use a lot of these blocks, but not all of them are going to be as useful as I'd like them to be. And sometimes I overthink things a little bit and I make it just too dang brute force. I need to stop doing that. So we got a programmable block here. I don't think that'll transition very well. And the motion controller. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. It's just it, man. It's like there's a lot of stuff that you've got. A lot of it just isn't available for small. Um, it's just not really good to use in a small ship at times. See, not everything has stuff. I've got these. I could add a weapon rack and a health kit on either side of this thing. That would also help. You know, just drop like a health kit right here. Right into that. Right there. Oh no, I didn't have that hooked up. What the frick? Okay. Let's delete this real quick. Let me throw in a health kit right here. Only health kits on either side anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Oh, it is a big deal. Yeah, that's not going to work there because I'm going to have to figure something else out. Look at that. And the frickin' deal is decided to mess with me again. Oh, I've got weather coming. Remove weather. That is annoying. There. Okay, I got to come up with a way to hook the rest of this system in. I've got this somewhat figured out. It's just not doing what I'm wanting it to do. Like I said, I've got most of it figured out. Hmm. Let me look here. I will figure this darn thing out here in a minute, I promise. Let's throw this new floor block here. See what I can get with it. Let's do that. That looks good. And it gives the whole entire build a couple things to work with. There we go. Booyah, booyah. There we go. There we go. Now on each side here, we're going to need like a health pack for each one of these guys. So that's one of the things we're going to put in here. Is the good old health pack. I think it'd be better off to slap it right in there. Ah, if at all possible. If it were possible. Hmm. Let's go back here. And number 8. Let me just slap one of these in there like so. And then we'll have to figure out what goes in behind this. So let's just go ahead, add those 2 blocks there. And number 5 here, which is going to be our little health kit. There's our little health pack there. Open that up, have all our little healthy stuff. And then on the opposite side, we're just going to run this up normally. That way it's not worrying about anything else. And voila, look at that. It's looking better the whole time. Now, the other thing is I'm going to have to run something on this end. I'm not sure what, to try and start tying all this together right in here so it still looks really good. It's one of the main issues I've got right now. Now I can take this out. It's not going to be too big of an issue. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a system in place here where those two kind of come around. Let's see if I can make that happen here. Uh-huh. No, that's not what I need. I need this. A mammoth tank from Command and Conquer. Clint Thaffy. Nope. Yeah, we're trying to get there. Right now I'm just doing the internalizing. Like I said, I've told people before, this is going to be a very, very, very big build. It's going to have a pretty good size. It's going to be a chunky tank. This is going to be a chunk. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm figuring out how this is going to go down. That might help. Let me head over here and do the same thing on this side. And that's just it. I'm just trying to figure out how this whole thing is going to work out. So, Clint, what is that? Clint Haffey or Clint Thaffy. I'm not sure how you say that. If I'm butchering that, I am sorry. But yeah, we are doing a tank from Command and Conquer. I'll do that here. I'm just wanting this control zone because if I can get this one control area looking good, then the rest of this is gonna look amazing. Oh yeah, there we go. Right there. All right, number 8. We're gonna slap a few of these in there. Like so. Like that, and then kind of bowl them around. Like I said, this is all just going to start looking like a very tight cockpit space. Once you're inside, you've got a lot of detail in here. So you can see right in here, you can see all this extra detail. We're probably going to slap a light here and a light here just to light this whole area up, and maybe try to put some type of little deal up there. I'm not sure how that's all going to work. We'll figure it out when we get there, trust me. Just Clint. Nice, nice. Love CNC. Okay, okay. All right. Let's see. How are we gonna keep doing this here? I gotta keep moving on. Gotta keep going forward. Let's see here. That'll work there. Can I put something on the bottom here? Yes, I can. I could probably actually just keep pulling this around. There we go. Like so. And that, I believe, will probably come around like that. Let's go ahead and just delete this from the side here so I can just see a little more of what I'm doing. I can make all this work together real well because it's giving you a bit of trouble sometimes. And then from there, ooh, that'll be fun. I don't know what I could put here. I could put like a programmable block, I think. That way we'd have like a small console there, and then number 8, we'll just go ahead and install. Yeah, see that's where things start to give me problems because I'm wanting this to be kind of open, not like that. So we'll do this, and then I'll probably do this here, that there, and then booyah, that's done. Check that out, or it's close to done at least. Now the next part is a set of lights up here. So let's see if I can find some lights that I can work with. I think these inset, I've got some inset lights here. We'll do that. There. one. And then, hello. What happened here? There we are. There we go. And done. Now let's take a look at the inside there. That's a little bright right now, but it's looking better. It's looking better. Okay, so we got that, and then we'll just build the turret system on top, which will make that work. Makes my Stormworks builds look like ass. It's okay. It's okay, Clint. This is me doing my thing. I do this a lot actually. Okay, so we're gonna go from here. Do I have the one with the? Yeah, got that. So boom, there we go. Look at that monster. That's an interior. Now I'll need to have a whole lot of data in here for this whole system so we can see all the goodies that's happening. We'll have a little programmable block, all kinds of little goodies and everything, turret systems, all that nonsense. So now that's done. I'm going to do something kind of stupid. Um, and attempt to recreate this on the other side without doing a whole lot of work. So what we'll do, we're just gonna cut this out here for the other side. All right, I hope nothing broke. Okay, yeah, it's heavy armor. Nothing's broke. All right, we got that down there. I know everyone's thinking, "Oh my God, Badger, what did you do? You killed him, Badger." Don't worry, it'll be fine. Don't worry, we got this. We got this. It's not gonna be. It's not as bad as y'all think it is. Trust me. It's not as bad. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna grab it right here. And if I can, I should be able to paste this sucker back in here. Not too much trouble. Oh, that's annoying. One. And now, two. And there we go. Check that out, boys. We have an awesome looking interior going on here. Now, like I said, the top of this is going to be probably a regular system, and I don't know how I'm going to make all this work because this tank is going to require a whole lot of other things to just really make it all work out good. But you see here, we could actually just start taking this and start rounding this whole system out. So these are the two side gunners done. Now I just need the main cockpit here. And that these systems look great. I love these sit down seats. I don't know if we're going to do this again the same way. Normally we would have like a hatch in the front of the system. I may want to keep that. I don't know. You can see here how all this is kind of coming together. So now I can make like some small adjustments if I want to. I can make some cool stuff happen. Um, I do want to put some kind of vent blocks down here or something. That'll just make it all look good. Like I said, we can grab this here and just kind of pull it over just slightly and then run another set of deals going up. And all we need is 2 points to drop down. And then I need to also keep it in such a fashion that I can keep the ladder going down. But that's going to be a fun one because if I recall correctly, the ladder sticks out really far. That's a problem because, yeah, I could mount this thing up there, but then I'm going to have to build everything around the turret once I get the turret figured out. So that's an issue. The next option here is I need to add this, and if I add the, well, actually, if I add this in first, I can just start kind of turning it, and the turret will sit. This just means that the turret's going to have to be built separately, and then you're going to have a way to like attach it to the system, which is a pain in the butt. This is this type of build with the ladder is a pain in the butt. I don't know why the ladder is this freaking long. Because if y'all see what I'm talking about here, you see how wide it is. That is a problem. Now I am gonna drop this ladder down a little bit so that it kind of sits inside the chassis, just like slightly down. But that means I'm gonna have to watch putting it back this way. And then I've also got to somehow set this as I may actually build the back end out a bit more because I am going to put that's where the engine's going to be at. And I think this thing's going to have to run on nuclear power probably. So that's just going to have, well, no, I probably run on gas. I just have to really figure out the gas system. That's going to be fun right there. Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's grab one of these. We got the big gas tanks, but I don't think we need the big gas tanks. See, we could have just a bunch of little itty bitty gas tanks lined up on a deal, and then run us like a small wall of what am I looking for? Conveyors to get in there, and then run like some storage that we can access. That'd be easier to access. And then what about an access panel? Let me see about access panels here for a minute. I haven't actually checked all of them out for the small ships. Okay, let's look here. I'm pretty sure that one's not going to give me nothing. Neither will that one. This one here. Ah, so check this out. This could be how we access the reactor, maybe? I don't know. You gotta figure that out. But like the power system is always in the back of these things, or in the back of the tank. I guess you could probably say it. I could also probably work around this a little bit and give myself use these floor blocks a little bit more and make the floor look a little bit nicer. That's a doable thing, I think. Oh yeah, the floor could actually look a lot nicer. Holy crap, I didn't realize that that was going to look so nice. Let's go ahead here, look at how this is going to go in. Delete 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to remove a portion of this so I can stick this in there. There we go. Bottom. Oh, that actually looks way better. I like that. How am I going to do this? Boom! Just like that. Look at that nightmare. Oh, that is awesome. Check that out. That just makes the floor look better. We're going to do that on all sides. We have to do that on all sides. We just have to. All right, how to do this? Oh, yeah. Remove this much of the floor. And then, if I recall, put him there. And we just keep doing that to either side. That also leaves me with a space in there
I put that one in wrong. We're built wrong. Let's see what this looks like after I get done with it. This will just make the floor of the whole entire Mammoth just look better. It's just taking little things out. And this is something I've told y'all plenty of times. All you got to do to make things look amazing is just look at all the blocks you got and see what you can do. See, look at that. That just looks awesome. That looks amazing now. And now if I add like a conveyor system between here and there, hey, look, it looks even better. I do need to move that first aid kit and put it right here. And I might just put rifle racks on each side. That make it look good. But we can pass through here pretty easily. We got plenty of room. What are we gonna start next? I could do the front area, and that's gonna require building this up. I don't know. I may want to space this armor a bit more, just to make it a little bit more reasonable. Let's go grab. Let's grab this. There we go. Now this section here is going to be in the front, but then I'm going to probably build it out a bit more so we've got plenty of armor between us and the and anything that's in front of us. So let's see. Number 9. What do I got here? Now I do have these interesting systems, but this here is probably the best seat for the Mammoth. I'll tell you why. It's a very nice little cockpit to make everything kind of work. It has the 2 twin joysticks, which would, unlike the other things which have like a little wheel that turns, this has 2 joysticks, so I can operate each turret, each track independently. The While I sit here and figure out this stupid weather, the Abrams, which is like one of the best tanks out there, I'm not even going to debate it. It's not up for debate. It is one of the best tanks out there. Also, with this, I can have a little bit more headroom coming in. This could be built in as a little bit more of a headroom kind of situation. So you see, I've got a little more headroom here. I could just, you just hop into it and then hop back out, and you don't have to worry about where you're going. You're hopping right back into this area. I can cut this section off to here, build that around. And like I said, that will then place this driver's seat here. Now, the reason why I like this is because over here, if you are to look at the controls, we've got one main joystick and we've got the throttle control. The Abrams has 2 bike. If you don't know how the Abrams works, it has a chassis in which you lay down into, and by laying down into it, you can access 2 bicycle things. So you have a screen in front of you right next to your, which you can then turn, and that enables you to turn a camera on top, which allows you, the driver, to see out of a camera periscope. And then on top of that, each track system is controlled by a bike throttle. So you will turn the bike throttle forward to get speed, and then you turn it back, and then it has a locking area in there. It has like a click or something in there which lets you know you're at the right spot, or you let go and it just goes to neutral, and then you can pull back, the tank stops, and it does all this stuff. And so then you'd also have like these foot pedals here for accelerators. So this would actually look, this will actually be a lot more Abrams than anything else. So it's actually a lot more dealio. And then I can put a little cage around that and just have this kind of sitting here, and then run some type of little screen looking thing right here. I don't know how that'll work. Let's hop in here and see how we're looking at here. Okay, so we got this small screen here. I'd like to put at least another screen up here, maybe. Let's grab a couple of blocks, see how that's going to look as we build up. Because I can't go much further than that. So I want to see what block I'm looking at. So I've got 2 blocks here and a block there. Here's what we'll do. We'll take out these 2 like that. We're not going to see this block down here, so I don't think that's a big deal. You're not ever going to see that. Let's grab 2 of these. And I will install one here. And then I'll have to get a set of blocks up here so that I can then see that. So let's go ahead and just grab this and we'll build this section up here. Now then, that should come all the way over here. It looks like dog wants to play Helldivers, but I'm doing this right now. Sorry, dog. I've got to play more Helldivers. They added the new magma thing, and I'm like, oh, not today. Why did y'all have to drop a biome today? That sucks. See right here, that looks awesome. So now, next thing, let's go ahead and I have an idea. I have a really good idea. We're gonna grab all this out, and I'm gonna put this bad boy in here. That'll almost make it to the end here. Is that thing got is that thing set like that? Oh. Oh. That would be interesting to input right about here, like so. And then I could I'd have to come up with a way to tie this all together. Let's we got to put another block in here anyway. This thing's gonna be thick in front. I'm thinking about making the entire the sides of the tank kind of too thick because reasons. So let's go back. Let's grab this. Grab that there. Turn, and that was not what I wanted to do, but all right. We'll do that there, there, and let's see how that looks from point of view here. Okay, so I hop in here. And you see all of this, which looks decent. And I should be able to hop in and out of that, no problem, inside the tank. And then we'll just have to build this around. Or I'll have to come up with something else. This could work. I'm not saying it can't, but it could work. The thing is that going in there in the top, that kind of just makes me feel like we're missing something. So let's go back here for a sec. Take that off. Let's build this forward a tad. And then I need light. How are we going to do light? Oh, wait. There's something I can do. We'll do this. That. And then there. Because all of this is going to have to, this is just going to be swinging around. We're going to have a ladder in this, and it's going to rotate around, and then you're going to be able to, like, the one problem I got here is when with the ladder working, I don't know how difficult that's going to make things trying to get through here. And the problem is I can't exactly drop that on there without causing other problems. So, yeah. Ah, issues. My guy, issues. So, let's see. So I got those two systems working right there. Let me see if I can add some console blocks in here that will actually make this look good. There's one. Now I'm not going to be able to add a console block here. That's the problem. So, okay, that's an issue. Do that there. Yeah, that's looking good. which is this nice little cockpit with just a whole bunch of frickin' analog buttons. That looks good. That looks awesome. Now then. Maybe that could work. That actually could work because it's not going to be interfering too much. And then it's just pushing the armor out. I think I'm going to make that like the armor about, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. I'd like to push this thing out to 6 so we have this nice big metal plate right in front of us and then kind of start sloping it down slightly. It doesn't have to slope too easy, just slightly slope down a little bit better. I think that'd be kind of cool. That looks good there, but I think I could make this. This is the issue here. Because I got all this stuff going. It looks kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. But I got other issues coming in here. Let's do what we did over the way. Let's grab number 6 here. Let's give ourselves a slight amount of adjustment. And then let's go over here, number 1. Do that there. There. Now we just need some buttons for the top of the consoles there. And there. That'll work. And then it's just, that'll start tying things together because then I can add, let's see, the medical kit can just go right there. Then I can just add that all in. Let's do it. Let's do it right here. There's my med kit. Number 8. And then I can add that up here. Yeah, just in time for the Tiberium Wars. All right, check that out. That's all I gotta do. I just gotta make that fit there. And then I can probably round this in a little bit more. Make that work. What can I do here? Let's grab a light block because we need those. Let's grab us a light, folks. Boom, we can add one there. Under normal circumstances, I would not make this complicated. But let's see here. How's that looking? Oh yeah, that's looking good. So now all I need is just something here for that, and I got just the perfect thing. We'll use this heavy armor block. Actually, no. Let's go to 4. Boom, check that out. Oh yeah, we've got some nice looking cockpits here now, folks. Look at that. We got a nice little light up there. We're gonna put this into like a green zone and then add a programmable block. We'll have a nice little dual screen system, like something over here where we can have a couple of radars or something, which will tell us where enemies are at. Now all I got to do is I just got to connect this over here. And to do that, I'm gonna go 4 because what I want, the way I want to connect this is like so. There we are. And then boom, look at that night. Look at that. That's going to look awesome interior wise. So let's go ahead and get most of this looking good. I need to fill these crack areas here. And then it might be best to just start building the upper part of the turret because this is going to start getting really difficult really quick. I'm going to need that turret built pretty fast. But yeah, so let's just keep working this in. Do. Here we go. Now, this is going to be a pretty good sized tank, so just warning y'all. This thing is going to have the size and the power to make things happen. Yeah, so just check that wall out right there as you're coming around in this thing. And then the actual tank turret itself is going to be sitting on top of all this, which is going to be really fun to figure out. I don't know if that stupid turret is going to work because well, I'm trying to figure this out here. If I put that stupid ladder up in there, huh, here's the problem. This just is not wide enough for that stupid ladder to work. I need somebody to get inside that turret and operate it. And I wanted to be able to come down from the turret itself. So we'll probably still try to make that work. I'll just have to figure out how to make it work. Um, yeah. Hmm. So the ladder is going to come down through here. It's going to have to stick. Let me see here. So the ladder is going to be right there. And it's going to be swinging around the cockpit. It could be in the way. It could not be in the way. But the problem is the turret would almost have to be put on separately. And this is going to come down over just this last block. This bottom rung here should be at this last block, which means I'm going to have to build the turret next. The turret will have to get started. There's no way around it. The issue with the turret is this particular block is it is about, well, let's see here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks long, which means I'm going to need 5 blocks of space just to put this ladder into the top turret. And then I'm going to need enough room. I guess once you drop down in here, you would have room going back. I guess we could add beds and maybe a kitchen in the back of here because the soldiers are going to have to operate. And then on top of that, the turret's got to go back that far. This has got to come down at least one. So, yeah, that's an issue. Now, this being a separate grid, it'll probably work out pretty good. Dog soldier, sup, dude. Sup, man. We're building a. I'm trying to build the. Oh, what did I delete? I deleted a chair. Okay. That was not that bad. That was not that bad. Delete that. That's all I need to delete. Let me go back. I'll put the chair back in. Yeah, we're doing the Mammoth tank from Command and Conquer. This was, and I'll be the first one to say this. This was honestly a surprise to me when we did this because I avoided the voting and everyone voted for the bubble fighter like in the first couple of hours. I was like, okay, sup, we're doing bubble fighter then. And then I come back later and look at this thing and it goes, hey, when we won the bubble fighter, y'all were like, we want to see the mammoth tank get built. And I was like, oh, well, all right then. I don't know how to say no to that. Y'all were just adamant. You were like, hey, we want to see that want to see that big tank. We want to see that one tank, man. Most of us ain't never like there ain't a lot of stuff that gets built like that. I can tell you that right now. So here we go here. I'm gonna put these in just to give us a bit more. There we go. So you can see how this is starting to just start to take shape. And so the interior of this thing's going crazy. Why is the weather again? Again, I have weather issues. Remove. I want light. Dang game, I swear. Been doing magma slash lava runs on Fury. Oh, dude. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that. I was wanting to do that. And I have this committed right now, which is fun. I'm not going to lie. It's fun. I like building crap. And I honestly, honest to God, I would have gotten on there and probably done Helldivers. I was really tempted to do it tonight. But my work day has not been very fun. And my wife was like, you need to do something relaxing tonight because you're really irate about stuff. She said, you're not saying anything bad. And I don't do that. I don't get mad and like pitch a fit and show out. I just start having, I just start getting like, you can just see it. You can see me start getting irritated about things. And it's not, it's never a person. Well, rarely it's never a person. That's the wrong one. It's rarely an individual that causes me problems. What usually happens is I'm just, sometimes it just gets a little difficult. Life doesn't go the way you want it to all the time. And then you're just like, Okay, we're just gonna have to sit back, relax, and just do some fun stuff for a little bit. Let's see here. That there we go. Hey, check it out. We can still put that in there. I could probably build the turret next and just start working the round section of the turret in. So that when this thing kind of rotated, now the kicker is going to be, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and see just how bad this is going to get because I need to know. I need to know. I need to know how bad this is going to become. Now, where's that? I need to see something. I need to see. All right, that's where the ladder should come down. Oh, hey, we can get around it. Oh, sweet. So now we can just hop on here and just climb right out the turret if we open the turret up. That's actually pretty dope. That's actually going to work. Oh, that's going to work. Awesome. So now to make this all go in there, love the new, what are we loving here? I can't see that. Oh, what are we loving? Let me put this on widescreen here. Okay, love the new AR-12. Oh yeah, I love that thing. So for those who don't know, Helldiver's got a new gun. We finally got an M203 grenade launcher on the bottom of it. Let me see here. This is about the command height of the new turret that's going to be put in. So this is going to be about the height of the turret, I think. I could probably go higher with this, actually, because this is going to be the top. Yeah, this could go higher. This could go much higher. Oh, heck yeah, I could go higher. Let's take it up. Well, let's see here. How bad would this go? Not on the floor. Let's just drop it right there. Can I get around it? Oh yes. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I can get around that. Okay. So then the next question is, just how fucking tall do I want this turret? Okay, how tall do we want this friggin' turret we got here going on? Oh, that's gonna be big. That's a little way too tall. That's not gonna work good. The other question is, how big are these? Because that's something else I got to figure out. Okay, that's gonna be about 4 tall. Ooh, ooh, hmm. That's gonna be interesting. All right, we're gonna take this out entirely, like so. I do want to put. I don't know. Do we want a 5-man crew tank? Runs on 5. So far, we've got 4, and we could get to 5. The Mammoth actually ran far more people than this. Do I want 5? Hmm. I don't know if I want that or not. Well, like I said, this is going to be a big giant tank. It's going to be a big giant chassis on it. I'm just hoping this thing doesn't clang out because it's going to have several. It's going to have several grids on it. I'm just hoping it doesn't like clang out and go whee, go flying off into the nether or the ether or whatever. The other thing also is I've got room here to add all the generators and stuff too. So we've got a place to put all of that stuff if necessary. I could run a pipe system through here and up that. and then run my engines here on either side to the power plant system, and then have some type of power planting system in there. Clang has entered the building. Dude, you don't have a clue. I'm halfway considering, because it's this small block, I'm halfway considering some type of missile launch system. But I don't know how I can do 6 missiles because I do like Makos. And if any of y'all have seen the other builds that I've done, the Mako is kind of my faction's claim to fame. It's one of those things where I can fire that thing off and it will just go where it needs to go. Actually, I have room here with that to slap in. Oh, I could do that. We probably need to start building the turret next. I want to build more onto the chassis, and we will, but we've got to start getting that turret done. Now, this is going to be the fun part. Number 6. There we are. One advanced rotor, ladies and gentlemen, because this has also got to feed into the actual battle tank itself. And then, hmm, and then that's also got to run another. We'll have to build another one of these on the side here just for the carousel, and then I may put a battery on the other. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna have this rounded section here. Okay, let me whip right up here. We're gonna have this kind of rounded section. We're gonna put a we'll put a guy here on top. This is gonna be on the turret layer. So we'll have this is the turret subgrid, or main body of the turret subgrid. We'll have one guy sitting here to control the turret and everything, to turn the guns and shoot. Then we'll have an ammunition compartment here to hold all the ammo. Which if that gets hit, it's going to blow the tank up anyway. I don't really care. Then we can push back here and have a section of the turret where the ladder comes back. And that'll give me all the room I need. And then back in here, I can start turning this area into a power substation because the Mammoth's back end is where all the power is located. And it's very lightly armored. The front is very heavily armored. So you can see how this is starting to take effect right here. So we're probably not going to put this back in. So we can delete this little nasty thing here. And I'm going to double up the turrets on the whole thing. So there's just double the turrets happening on there. So yeah, we're figuring out, we're building it. We're getting there. Okay, it's taking shape. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So let's see here. I don't want this to be too high. And a magazine, I need this to start becoming the roof to an extent. But I don't want it right on the roof, if you catch my meaning. Let me go ahead and throw in some stuff here. There. So now we've done that. Let me go ahead and grab the magazine. Where's our magazine at? There we are. So look at this. I think the best thing to do would just be do something like that. Now the kicker, as usual, we can do this, and the magazine's just right there. Now the question is, will this interfere with anything else? And it doesn't look like it's going to. I am going to hit this rotor though. Let's just hop in here, press K, and I'm going to give this rotor a slight spin. Should be up here in A. And we're going to not do it fast. Just going to give it a 1 point velocity. and see what could catch where. So far, it's looking like that's not going to catch too much. Now, the next part. We'll do this. Oh, that's going to create an issue. Frick. I already see the issue that's going to cause. No, it won't. No, it won't. It will not. It will not. Let me see here. I don't think it'll cause me an issue, but we're going to find out. Now, the other problem, child, is going to be this thing. Oh, yeah, that's going to be perfect. That is perfect. It is not going to interfere with anything at all. That is actually going to work out perfect. I can't believe how well that is working right now. So, for those of you wondering what's going on here, why I'm a little excited, let me put that there. I got to see what I just dropped. Oh, yeah, we can't have that. Now then, y'all fix to see the madness of Badger effing Wild. And there we go. Oh, this is going to be a bit of an issue trying to get through here. Oh, I'm just stuck. So this is a bit of an issue. Ah, see, issues. This is where I start finding problems. But with this height here, that is actually, we can actually go higher. So it's like right up there. And then that'll take us right up to the top turret. Hey, cool, check that out. So now you can just run right up there and hop in. And we are controlling that nightmare from above. All of that is just working out beautifully right there. So I don't know if this is going to hit, interfere, or do anything of that nature. So we're going to have to figure that out later. I don't see a reason to really mess with a whole lot here. This is where the turret's kind of going to go in, and we'll build a skirt up around that, and then I'll build over the skirt. So we'll be pretty well protected. But yeah, check that out. And then on top of that, if I want to get out of this stupid thing, I can just grab onto this. Hello? Why won't it just let me climb out the dang turret? Oh no, what is happening here? Let's, where is it? Advanced rotor. Rotor lock. Let me see. Tell me that is not. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not. It's just because it's moving. Hey, look at that. We're right up on top of the frickin' tank now. Ain't that cool? That's awesome. So now, with this big box here, we're going to have this giant turret capacity. Honestly, I can tell you what I'd love to do. Do two ladders. See what that looks like. The problem, so dog said do two ladders. The problem with the two ladders, dog, is with the range of movement I have here. That when it gets down here, we're not going to be able to freely move around the cabin. So this has to be cramped, but not too cramped. So like this is cramped enough that guys are going to bump into each other, which is how the Mammoth should be inside. It is a cramped cockpit despite its size because it's mostly armor. But if I pull this ladder down anymore, that was the problem I ran into right here where I just kind of stopped and didn't move. That ladder actually caught me and I wasn't able to push through. So if this turret turns or goes any kind of direction, I'm not going to be able to move. That's the problem I'm running into. Now that's done. I know I can build the turret like this. The other option then is to just try to come up with some type of chassis system or a skirt that will go around that I can kind of lob in between each other. So it creates kind of a cast, not a caster way. It's like a caster effect. And the turret can just kind of rotate. I wonder if I could put, well, that would be weird. But I was wondering if I could put in a, I might could. I'm wondering if I can put in a wheel housing that will allow me to run like a small wheel that'll let me run like a caster. And I can put like 4 of them around this thing and then just kind of, or put 3 of them on and just kind of spin this thing a little bit. But it's working right now. I mean, the system doesn't even register that ladder. So that's doing pretty good. Let me run some stuff here. Okay, that's one of the advantages of putting this little guy in. Let's see here. But yeah, that was my first thought was I should put in the my first thought was to do that. No, I want to go there. I want to break off here. And then come around to here. I'll slap that in there. Okay. So now for this part, I want the engines to sit kind of up here. And I want enough power. So let me show you what I'm talking here. I'd love to set the engines right about here. So let's go ahead and just drop that in. So there's our corner block. We'll put that right there. I'll do the same over here. Just like that. And then I will grab, where's my engine? There it is. Number 9. We will go with this newer engine here. So we got our main engines back here. I'll probably pull this around. And another thing I want to do is I would like, but they're just not long enough. That's the problem. I would like to take these and install them here. You see what I'm talking about? Having the hydrogen tanks right there. If I do them like so, that's not going to work too well.
Unless, of course,
Hold up now. I could make that work. We could make this work. Let me see what I can do here. We need 3 good engines or 3 good hydrogen tanks, so we're gonna need those anyway. Delete that. Put one here. One here. Nope. One here. That's gonna be our hydrogen battery right there. No. Like that. Boom. That's our hydrogen battery. Now all I need to do is just hook this back up here. Okay. So all that's loose. I also have to run a system up through here that'll conglomerate all of this together. Then for giggles, let's go ahead and grab that. Where is it? Number 6. See, that's why I love this block. We'll shove this here, like so. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to look through here. Let me grab the number 6 H2O2 generator. Let's see what we could do here. So we have this going for me. I could put an H2O2 generator on it. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. I need a big battery. Number 1. No. No, 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 no. I need a battery. Here's a big one. This will kind of show off a power supply. What I'm really wanting to do, though, is take both of these, take 2 of them, kind of put them almost side by side here. The problem is I can't get that side by side. That's going to be an issue. There's always an issue. I swear. There's always something. It can never just be easy. I know what some of y'all are thinking right now. Why don't you just use a Prototech battery? I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can. Now, I might do something, because you can see through these batteries. I've got an idea to put some vents back in here so that when this thing powers up, suddenly you're having to really throw some things in. Throws like a monkey wrench into the whole thing. Now, here's another problem. This is actually almost too wide. Yeah, it is almost too wide for that engine system to work. Well, no. I can actually push this a little bit more, open that up a bit, give it a little bit more protection. This here has to be a lot less protected. So we'll go here. We'll go from here. Let's see. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? This is where I'm gonna have to start getting the carousel and everything figured out. Let me see here. Oh, here's my one problem. frickin' light left. Bring back the sun. Where is it? There we go. All right, now I can see better. Question, do I pull this in more and kind of draw this forward? If I do, I'm going to lose. Yeah, it's not going to look as good. What about my hydrogen tank or my battery? I'm going to put those in. Let me grab a block here. Let's see. Let me just shove a few blocks here and here. And what I want to do is I want to put this here, and that's going to require me to add 2 more to each side. How dastardly. How dastardly. How dastardly Space Engineers makes me put more blocks down. There's gonna be 2 good-sized batteries to run this thing on. New M1A1 E3 video. Oh, that sounds good. You see right now we have these. This is going to go up twice. I could do this, though. I could put the batteries up here, like that. And then do something fancy with the back end of it here. Decisions. Oh, wait. Hold up now. Look at that. Now I can kind of see how much they're doing here. So you see, we kind of got this nice little cramped effect going on here. We can see our engines working. Get down here. See them operating really well. Yeah. Crouch down here so you can see this. Kind of almost want to bring this up a little higher, but that would be kind of difficult to do without causing other issues. So now we also have these 2 lights going on here. I need something for the center. Right about there. Maybe some type of vent. Also, speaking of, I just remembered. Speaking of M1A1, this here is an actual Abrams and Space Engineers. Why is that turned all the way over here? Why are you mad at this? Buddy, he outweighs you pretty well. I don't think you want to start that nonsense. Oh boy. All right, so this is our power generation plant back in here. I could add a hydrogen tank there. Let's see what that looks like. Number 3. We could add 1 more hydrogen tank. Give us a lot more hydrogen. Ah, come now. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. It's got little hydrogen tanks there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add some gyros back here because we need gyros. Okay, we're going to need some gyros. There is enough room for a few gyros right here. I don't know if this is too many or not, so we're going to find out. Okay, we've done all that. Now, for the next piece of this puzzle, we're going to grab some more console blocks. And what I want to do, we're going to go right here. Console there. Console there. And then we'll have, I want to say, this one here. And then I also need like one here. So you're not really going to see what's happening in this, but I'm going to do something interesting that'll kind of show off some stuff. And I can add just a small placard right there. Actually, I'll tell you what I can do right now. Number 8. Do something like that to make it look a little more reinforced. I could also do the same thing on this side just to, you know, break this up a bit. I didn't put a block there, did I? Did I? I did not put a block there. No. Yes. Now then, all that's done there. We'll run another set of something here, and this will just be like a little control room for stuff. And then I'll run a series of like heat vents somewhere. We'll have some heat vents pop on. And that'll make this little battle space look kind of nice. And it'll run real good. So let me look here. Wanting more control panels. Because control panel good. Control panel really good. And then we'll run this here. Like so. Do this and do that. Check out that little, that's getting better. That's getting better. And I might add some smaller batteries going across the top, and then we'll run some kind of piping through here to make everything kind of look good. Now, all I need to do is just make this look a little bit better. That's it. It can get better. Like I said, this thing's going to be pretty cramped to begin with. If you want out, you have to hop out up there, like so. Oh boy. I don't know. That may kick you right out, and you may just go right out into the ether. So who knows how that'll work. Anyway, like I said, we got these nice control panels and these cockpit areas. You should look around. This is nice. And then we got our main combat seat here, which has the screens, buttons, panels, the works. It looks amazing. And then we have our secondary unit up here, which I may have to build a cockpit just for this section here, just so it'll kind of work. Or just put like a big viewing screen up here so you can operate it. But yeah, that's going to be fun.
Uh, I also think instead of these, I'll probably put some turret control blocks in there. That'll make that work a little bit better. I don't need this battery here anymore either. So that's kind of pointless to have. And yeah, all this is just going to get better and better as I start just adding more stuff and making more stuff happen. Let me see. Oh, that's the ore holding facility. I don't care about that. So yeah, I need something for the center of this coming up. That might be where I put a couple of programmable blocks in. That might be the best option there. And then just to operate this, I could probably just access that there, or just put a little access hatch right here. Actually, um, actually, I could do that. I could add a little access hatch here, so that when I need to pull something out, we just pull it out and just go with it. That'd be fun. That will be fun. But it is. Holy shit! It's almost 1 o'clock where I am. My God. So yeah, the Command and Conquer tank, the Mammoth, is coming along nicely. Like I said, this thing in lore is like 4 times the size of a regular M1 Abrams tank. No, 8 times the size because you're also doing by cubic size of it. It's 4 times the area and 8 times the mass, or 8 times the volume. I guess would be something you say. And I'll just build this out and start shaping and everything else, and it'll start looking really good when I get done. We'll actually put an actual turret hatch on top. It'll have a couple of guns. We'll be able to just really tune this thing up and just start hammering away. Also need to put in a the dual gun turret system in place, so all that works out well. I'll need at least a length of armor for that, and that'll build this turret out really far. I don't know. These guns are really not out there that much. I may end up, I'm not sure. I may end up doubling the gun just so I can fling it out. I did notice how the guns are built though on it. They're kind of a little different. They actually have top hatches on top and they kind of stick up over the top just a little bit so that when you lift the turrets, the cannons up and down, they kind of move. But I can actually set the cannons up to where they'll all actually run on the same system and they won't interfere with each other too badly. And then once that's done, we build 4 dual tracked track systems. And then those are going to be independently suspended on subgrids. And we've already proven, I did the experiment here. You can put the track mod, the skid steer mod on there, and this thing will work. The problem with this is it's just a little too powerful for what it's got to do. Yeah, for those wondering, that's on two, that's one main grid, 2 subgrids, and we have a tank. So you can put the independent tank suspension on this and it will still work once you've gotten to that point. So that's going to make this thing work out really good. But yeah, let me go in here and delete the weather for the last friggin' time. There we go. But yeah, that's how the whole system's working. Let me just drop right down here in the interior, so you guys can just see what all we're working on right now. You can see all the chairs in here. This right now is a 4-man tank, and we've got the ammunition to keep going with it. The turret is going to be pretty well armed and armored. So we're just going to up the armor on the turret. And I might even do a layer of spaced armor, just so if we get hit with a rocket, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And then I may mount a couple missiles to the sides of it, like real missiles, not the fake ones that we all see sometimes. I may mount Might mount a couple of Makos to the side of it. They won't be like the 6 missiles that normally are fired, but 4 Makos against another set of tanks. One Mako is enough to really F up a tank. If it hits another tank, if it hits another vehicle, it's going to hurt it, even a small one. One Mako can almost shear a another ship in half, like a large block ship in half, if it's a small enough size. So I mean, a tank like this, you have a Mako just punch right through the armor down to here, and then just detonate and take a hole out. So a couple of maybe like 3 Makos on the side. I don't know how that'll work. Let's see. Each Mako, I need about 9 blocks to make that work. Probably. Yeah, about 9 blocks to make a 9 block tall. So probably won't be doing that much, but we could add a couple of missiles on the back of it, on the sides. But anyway, yeah, I thought you guys would like to see the. We'll end this with the progress right here that we've gotten done. You can see the whole cockpit system that's being set up now, and I just got to do a little bit more work, and this thing will look amazing. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I am going to hit the hay right now and get some sleep or whatever sleep I can get. At this rate, I'll get like 7 hours of it, so that'll be nice. And I don't know. Saturday we'll kick back on this. I am planning on something a little different for Saturdays though, at some point in time. So I've got a new idea that I'm working on, and I'm probably going to be doing that on Saturdays. I'm not sure. We're just going to have to see how that all works out. But anyway, folks, I am Badger Wild, man. Yeah, good night. Oh, before y'all go, before you go, before everyone just starts running off, let me get this out. Um, I've got another Let's Play coming up. It's going to be cleared hot. I've got all the missions done already. I'm doing something different where all the missions are going to get done before I upload a single video. They're going to be done and edited and ready to go because I have trouble finishing up Let's Plays. So I want to finish one. And this is just a small game. And then I'm planning on going back to 2 other games because they did reduce the file size on Helldivers, so that was cool. Um, which gives me a little more quote unquote stuff to play with, RAM to play with. So I may re-download Armor Core, and I might finish up Lost Planet and get those Let's Plays done. And then I might do some more Let's Plays. I'm thinking about more Let's Plays I could do. But what will happen is I'm one more mission away. I've recorded the entire missions and then given them just a quick edit. So it's like a nice playthrough. I have taken out some pauses at the beginning, but that's about it. And some interruptions. I think 2 videos I had 2 people call me in the middle of recording. So I had to go back, uh, make a jump cut in there, just cut that out. It's like 2 videos out of like 10, I want to say. Yeah, so I got like one more to do. I'm going to have that finished up tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to put that entire series up by itself. It's going to come up, it's going to be in a playlist. Now, y'all can either play through it, okay? Y'all can see it, play it. You can wait for it to come out on schedule as a subscriber, or members are going to get the entire playthrough for free. So you're going to be able to binge it from start to finish. Y'all just going to have to go in there, get on the playlist, push that first video, and just binge the entire playthrough of Cleared Hot. And Cleared Hot is a really cool game. It's just a great little chopper game that I've been enjoying playing for a while. Uh, Doing that, I'm gonna try and do a let's play like that. I'm just gonna get the videos up and done and put them up because I gotta provide some kind of value. So that video is gonna come out probably on either Wednesday or Monday because I have live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that'll give me a bunch of content for the next couple of months. Friday is kind of just anything that I can find. So I'm probably going to do something for Friday. I'm not sure what it is. The idea here is I want to get far enough out that I can actually do some experimental videos and see what I do. I may try a machinima at some point. I don't know. I've also got another project that is not space engineers related, technically. but it is it's a pretty interesting little project I've been working on. It's turning out really good. I want to tell y'all about it, but I want to get it done. And I've been talking. Me and my kid, we've been working on this for a little bit, and I'm just gonna say right now, y'all gonna want this. Y'all are gonna want this. You've been wanting this for a while, and I've really been just putting in time and energy to make this thing work and make it work really well. This has been a so far 2 year project of figuring out how to make this work. It is something that has come up in the space engineers community a couple times, and I finally said, fuck it, I'll do it. I kind of pulled the Thanos thing out. I've told some people kind of what this is. Nobody tell anyone what's going on, please. If I've already told you, just okay. I want to make sure this thing is in tipped. I want to complete this before I tell anyone that it's here. Okay. I don't want to come out there and do something half-ass and then it just for some reason it falls through. This is something I'm working on. It may come out, it may not, but if it does, it will be awesome. And it's taken me a while to figure out how to make this thing work and keep it interesting. Okay, I'm trying to make something that'll be really interesting that I can sell. Okay, that is one reason I am also doing this is to make something I can sell, but also something that y'all will want to buy. And I'm gonna keep it cheap. Okay, I'm thinking somewhere within like $20-25 is what I'm gonna run it. But you're gonna be getting a lot, and y'all gonna be able to take this and make it your own. Okay, it's really cool. Like I wouldn't normally I have not been wanting to talk about it, but I've reached a point now where things are solidifying and options are coming together. Uh, the plan is to have this thing done and on Amazon so that you guys can just buy it and then you can upgrade it yourself. You can make this product into something really cool and personable. And that's the plan with that. So it'll be a little bit before that comes out, but like I said, I'm doing that and it's going to be really cool. I've told some of the guys that have done live streams with me kind of what I'm planning on doing. Gomer knows I've been working on this thing. He's actually seen some of the stuff I've been working on. He's not going to tell you what it is. He's already sworn to secrecy because he was like, "Man, this looks." But when I started, he goes, "Dude, this is a really good start." He was like, "Yeah, this is a really cool start. I hope you keep doing this." So that's the plan with that to get it done. So yeah, like I said, membership is like 99 cents. If you guys want to membership up, it's less than $1. The running joke on here is it buys Dr. Pepper for me so I can do these live streams for y'all and I can keep getting videos done. But like I said, I've got a couple irons in the fire. One of them is going to be a couple of them are going to be coming up. There's some things I want to do just for fun, but this other thing I've been doing it. Me and my kid, we did it. We tried this product out, and she was having a blast. We were sitting there, and she was just laughing her head off and having a blast with it. And since then, I've been able to take the basis of that and I've expanded it into a much more expansive product. It's going to be cool. Okay, it's going to be cool. I've been working on this for a while, and I'm hoping you guys are going to like it. But anyway, thank you all for watching. And as usual, I am Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.